Hi, in this video, I'm going to show you how to convert time zones with Power Query. Now, in this particular example, we have a table here, and this set of data has a date, times, but this is in GMT. And on this table, we have the same thing, but this is in Pacific Time. This is a scenario that I've come across where I had data coming in from one system, and it was time-stamped in GMT, but you really didn't know about it unless you knew the system. And we had another system that had time-stamped everything in Pacific time. And what we wanted to do is we wanted to make sure the data was correct or consistent. Right? We have these transaction numbers. These are the same, but of course the date and times are different, and we wanted to offset them. Now, what we can do is we can kind of figure out, okay, 342, and this is Pacific time. We'll just add 8 hours to this because this is offset by 8 hours, and we'll get that. We also have to take into consideration daylight savings time because we have Pacific Standard Time and Pacific Daylight Time. So it becomes a little bit difficult sometimes because we have to consider the date when daylight savings time starts and when it ends. Power Query makes that a little bit easier to do this. What I'm going to do is to put both these tables into Power Query, and then we'll use the features in there. So let's get started. This is in the table format. You can see if I selected the table tools contextual menu comes up. Same for here. I'm going to bring this into Power Query, go to data, and from table and range. This one's going to be called GMT. It picked that name up from the table. Close and load, and have this close and load as a connection. So I click close and load. It's going to give me the connection or the options to import the data. We only want to create a connection because I don't want to have a separate table in another worksheet. Click OK. And just to show you that we had our table name pulled from the table, we'll go to click the table, design. This one already called GMT. What did I call this one? GMT underscore 8. Let's just call this Pacific. I'll just call this one Pacific for now. Makes it easier. And bring this in. Click on the table, go to data, from table and range. Now this one is going to be called Pacific. Close and load, and this is going to close and load as a connection too. Click OK. Now what I'm going to do is take these tables and merge them together. Usually it's a good idea for me to take these tables as is. If I need to do any changes to the table, then I just got that connection only, and I'll just work off any updates on a new query. So I'm going to take that GMT table, double click it to open it back up, and up here it will be merge queries. And I want to merge queries as new, so it's not going to do anything with that other query. I want to merge this query with the Pacific table and have a new one created. My new table is the Pacific table, and the common column is this transaction number. With the transaction number columns selected, I'll keep the left outer join because these are all the same. We've got the same records here. Click OK, and it's called merge one. So there's a new query now. I'll keep that name, and you can see there's this double-headed arrow here. If I click on the table, one of the cells in the table, you can see that it's brought it over. And this merge utility has brought it over. And you can think of the merge utility as almost like a lookup, almost like a VLOOKUP or an index match lookup. And it will bring over the matching transaction number. Just open that up. I don't need the transaction number anymore because they're all the same. Click OK. So I have system A date and system B date. This is the GMT, and this is the Pacific. You'll notice also that it put in Pacific, the name of that table there. I'm going to change that later on. Let's just call this one System A and System B. Double click that. I could have done this earlier to not put that Pacific dot there, but let's just change it there. So I have my GMT and my Pacific. So I want to explicitly make this indicate that it's a GMT date. So I'm going to click on it. At least I know I'm selecting that. Click Add Column, Custom Column. We'll call this one System A Date, GMT. And the M code to do this is called time, date, add zone, because we're adding the time zone. Open parentheses, the time zone that I want to apply it to is system A date, and comma, which offset of the hours? Well, GMT is 0 because it's the one everything else references off of. Click OK. Close parentheses. Click OK. Whoops. Tie date. Oh, my bad. That should have been date time, not time date. Date dot time. I had that error there. Click OK. And now we have GMT. You notice that the times did not change, 3:42 a.m., 1:28 p.m., but now it references the time zone. We can do the same for system B here. Custom column. We'll do system B date Pacific. I'll just do PT Pacific time. So this is date, time, add zone, and we're going to do system B. And system B is offset by 8. Pacific time is offset by 8 on GMT. Close parentheses, click OK, and now we have our offset 8 here. So how do we know that this GMT time equals this Pacific time? We can add a little conditional column here, and I'm not going to give it a name because I'm going to delete that later. What we want to see is GMT, does that equal, let's select the column, does that equal the system date B PT? If it does, then yes. If it doesn't, then no. Otherwise, no. Click OK. And now we see they all match, right? Because it's smart enough to figure out that the GMT time zone and this PT time zone are the same. So I had also mentioned that there are certain dates here that are affected by daylight saving time. So you notice that 313, these two, they should have been offset by 7 hours, not 8, because of the Pacific daylight savings time. And even though they aren't referenced here, you can see that it still matched it. Let's change this. Let's make another column that references daylight savings time and see if it checks out with this GMT. Go to custom column, and we'll call this one system B date Pacific daylight time. And we'll go date. Oops. We'll go date time dot add zone, and we are doing system B date, and this is offset by 8. The same thing there, but we want to wrap this whole thing into another M code that will look at the local time that we're at, and I'm in the Pacific time period. We'll look at the local time that's based off your computer, and it'll recognize the significance of when daylight savings times ends and starts. So we'll do this date, time, and zone, and we'll set that to local. Open parentheses. Since there's 2 open parentheses here, now we've got to put 1 at the end here, so there's 2 matching. Click OK. And now you notice that it's recognized that, right? 313 is offset by 7, not 8, because 313 is, I believe, a little bit after when daylight savings starts. So we have 2 options there. And to test out if this matches the GMT, let's go to adding our conditional column, and we'll type if GMT, the regular GMT, which doesn't have any daylight savings matched to it, does it match our new one? Does it match the Pacific time period where we have daylight savings? If it does, yes. If it doesn't, no. And you should see that it still matches, because Power Query is smart enough to indicate or know that even though we have daylight savings times that's represented here in the dash 7 versus the dash 8 here where we didn't apply daylight savings time, we still match it to GMT. It's smart enough to know that. So this is the way that we can convert the time zone with Power Query. Now I'm going to bring this into my worksheet, but I'm going to delete these check columns. I don't need them anymore. Just delete that. That was the conditional column. I don't need this one, so I'll delete that one. Delete that step. Don't need this one, so I will delete that conditional column step. The Power Query editor is nice enough to ask me, well, do you really want to do this? Because we've got a step after this. It might cause there might be a dependency here. Well, we know there's no dependency because this is a conditional column, so that's okay. And it deleted that. And we want to change the markers here. So the last thing I want to do before I bring this over back into the Excel worksheet is I want to make sure these are all have date time zone types on it. I'll select this first one here, press shift, select the last one here, right click, change type, and we're going to change it to date time zone. So they all indicate date time zone. You can see the icons have changed here. And now I'm going to click close and load. By default, it will close and load onto a new worksheet. And now we have our information here. So you'll notice that we have our information here. We can check here, but it's not going to come out right because the Excel itself is not recognizing that they equal each other. Only Power Query will recognize it. It will do the calculation for you. So maybe it was good to have the check there. But if you notice, if I did this, that minus that, we'll have our 8 hours. 0.3333 is 8 hours. And the reason why you see that 0.333 instead of like a regular number is the way Excel sees time. 8 hours divided by 24 is going to be 0.3333. And that's why you see that. So you can do the calculations in Excel by doing it a little bit more cumbersomely, or you can do it in Power Query where it makes it a little bit more nice and visual for you. You just have to go through a little bit of the M code to do that. So that's how you can convert time zones using Power Query. So I hope that helps. Thanks for watching.